The recording has started, so for a point of inspiration, someone can recap what happened last time.
I'll just try and go quickly, shall I? Hey, step in a spooky statue room. Uh, Looking like statue. Spooky orb. Spooky orb is touched. Oh, they also find secret staircase back up to Grick room. Spooky orb is touched. 5 shadows come out in all directions. Fighting ensues. People almost die. Lots of strength was drained. I nearly die. Uh, they Silver Sword does well against them, and most other people find that they're mostly ineffectual. They go up into the ex-Grick room, I think, to rest. Or they go all the way up to the trap. The stairs leads through a trap door into the wolf
Den,
room,
yeah.
doesn't it? The den, and then they rest in the den. There were some horrible dreams during the night for Reese. He is trapped under a burning house, his own, presumably, and there is laughter. I think a male and a female uh, were laughing at him or at his fate. The orb is effectively one of the war mage, but hella spooky. Loot the jewelry that we'd, because we're such upstanding people, we left it before, but now shit's serious. Redwin and Minar have a conversation about adventuring and regret. There are some watches posted and such. And in the morning, version of a pep talk that's much, much grimmer than that, but seems to have the intended effect. And Reese is feeling a little better, that at least he has company in hell. Bexley is now a hollow dead spider. Bexley goes wandering around. They basically find their way down to the basement. There is a kind of trophy room with lots of more or less wonderful objects. And there is a flooded altar room and a prison or jail of some kind. They mostly ignore the items, figuring them potentially cursed or something, I guess. So they did get knocked around a little bit. Through the jail, there is found a secret door by Reese, I believe. And then we are surrounded by weird, shadowy, ghostly figures who want murder upon the altar. But we are not going to give them either Elk Reese or Meadowmane or anyone else for that matter. And when they realize this, they set on Lorgar the Devourer? Lorgoth the Decayer. He's awoken a giant shambling mound. And combat begins, and it is horrific. And lots of damage and lots of people being eaten, and there is portent used to predict, and Bran strikes the beast very heartily. And then I think Dev shoots it, and it dies or something. I cannot quite remember. Because it was on like 1 health.
Reese
No,
killed
I've
it.
reskilled it with his claws. I've seen it. He clawed it after spending most of his time inside of it. Because he taunted it and the DM.
Saving Bran, because Bran got count after saving him.
Yes, after I saved him
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and then got home-tommed and he saved me. Comes around.
Thank you for the sound effects. I appreciate it.
They then basically try and leave this awful place, and all the doors have been replaced basically with sliding scythe blades, and it's filled with a choking mist of a smoky mist of a kind that is trying to kill them slowly every turn. So some of them dive through the doors, some of us smash through walls and kill intervening rats, and the the other half of the party almost goes down, or several people go down and are brought back up by various healings and carried over the threshold. Uh,
It is
Bran
a
making sure everybody gets out.
a close thing, but you all manage to get out, and you find yourself standing back in the village of Barovia. You assume you are located about here on the eastern side of the village. Let me know if you can't see that very well. Right here.
I can't see.
Right here.
You
This
haven't
is
got
the.
anything up?
Oh, I should probably turn my
Yeah,
camera on.
there you
Ha
go.
ha 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 ha. Sorry. Yes, so you're right about here.
Also, real quick, am I echoing for anybody? I know I was last night.
Uh, as of right now, I can't hear any echo.
Okay, let me know if it gets to be trouble.
Okay. But yes, you guys are about here on the nearly the eastern side of Barovia. You would basically come in from this direction here and then turn north when you saw like the uh, ghostly images of whatever demonic entity was posing as Rose and Thorn. Um, and yeah, you find yourself back onto the wet cobblestones once again. The windows of each house in Barovia stare at you from pools of blackness, and no sound cuts through except for the mournful sobbing that echoes through the streets from a distance.
Mournful sobbing, just ambiently. Ugh.
It's this quiet, gloomy village, and you can hear what you assume to be a woman sobbing somewhere off in the distance. But you have your freedom.
Follow the sound? Does it sound like it's coming from any particular direction?
It looks
Or
as
does it kind
though
of sound like around?
uh, at this point it's just kind of around. Basically, everything at this point is going to sound like it's coming from the west because you're on like the eastern outskirts of
Oh,
town.
okay. As we journey through it, Meadowman's going to keep an eye out and see if at any point it sounds like it's coming from a particular direction because he wants to help the.
Like so, you guys can travel south again towards like this main road and kind of work your way towards the center of town if you wish.
All the windows, all the homes seem to be empty.
You can go up and investigate some if you wish.
I mean, Redmond is looking pretty rough. He's not eager to move too far away from big, strong people to protect him.
But yeah, most of the homes are like dark and abandoned looking.
I'll send Bexley in spider form, just like under one of the doors of the nearest house.
Okay. As you guys kind of stand in the center of the street, Bexley skitters off and going towards like the closest house to the south, we'll say. He crawls under the door and do spiders have a sense of smell?
I mean, probably, yeah.
Okay. Well, he's overcome with a cloying, sick stench. And as he looks inside, there are, making me get out dice. Four humanoids just kind of standing and listlessly, like heads cocked to one side.
Can I determine if they seem like dead humanoids?
Sure, you can roll like a wisdom check for Bexley.
Well, I mean, I'm using his senses.
Okay. Well, it's still his senses that you have to use, so it's his stats that you would have to roll.
Okay. Well, he rolled a 19 on the die.
Okay. Yeah, they look even from like his vantage point, and they're like, towering above him. They're kind of like limp armed. One of them's got like head cocked to an angle that does not look comfortable in any sense of the term, and even in like the low Barovian sunlight, quote unquote, of day that's kind of filtering in through the windows. They looked dead,
Okay.
but standing.
I think Redwin he'll pop Bexley back into his pocket dimension. He's probably still leaning on Bran a little bit after having his side cut open and his beautiful jacket ruined. And say, I think these houses are filled with the dead, or people with really terrible back problems.
Or at least that house is.
Or at least that house.
Reese sort of chokes out an emotional fuck.
Aye.
Merriman goes up to the door, puts his hand on it, and gives a prayer to the Great Mother that they find their peace.
Sure.
Lies a little bit.
That doesn't
why don't
elicit a
you-
response.
Why don't you roll me a religion check using your wisdom modifier there, Meadowmane?
Sure can there, bud. That is a... Oh, Lord. I didn't roll well, unfortunately. No surprise there. That's only an 8 there, bud.
Okay. Yeah, as you walk up to the door, lay your hand on it, and do your prayer to Shaun T, you hear within and then as the figures behind the door start battering on the door to get at you, Meadowmane.
Oh, yeah, fucking... He doesn't curse. Merriman doesn't curse. I do.
Sure. Let's see. There is a very specific
Oh god.
number that doors in Barovia have if they're not reinforced, and this Strahd zombie just happened to roll enough to break that door down. So I would like you all to please roll me initiative.
Brown was like just turning to like red, and this all happens in like a very short amount of time, and it just like, oh fuck. I think it just echoes Reese, but like a more despairing.
Here we go again. Kind of.
Yeah.
I rolled a natural 1,
Sweet.
Okay.
so 2.
Merriman 18.
I hope I didn't bust my book doing that.
I got
15.
19.
I do have way more spell slots now than I did. That's good.
What did you get there, Dylan? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. An 8.
An 8. Okay. And for you, Chex, what did mine roll?
Well, I still beat Rob. 6.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. It's not bad. It's not bad.
So little things in life.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'll take being the one to beat. I'm okay with it.
One to beat.
As you guys are standing in the center of the street, and Meadowmane goes up to pray on the door as you guys are contemplating things, and then the 4 zombies kind of barrel through the rotten door at Meadowmane, and Devin, you are up first as this cluster of zombies are reaching for your tall cleric friend.
Draw my longbow and fire a shot.
All right.
I feel like tall cleric associate's more appropriate.
26 to hit.
That hits.
Uh,
How much of damage?
11.
Very nice. All right. Anything else on your go?
No, that will be all.
Okay. Meadowmane, you are now up. As
With
these...
a quick glance at my party members, they're all looking pretty shitty, yeah?
Yes, very, very.
Going to grasp my rose and say, "Great Mother, shield my allies with your healing rose," and cast Lesser Restoration. No, player of healing. Sorry, I can't read.
Prayer of
That
healing
takes
takes 10 minutes.
Oh, piss. Well, in that case, he's
It's a
gonna whack it with a hammer.
spell. Okay.
He's gonna whack it with the thing.
Hammer.
With my
Right.
mace. I
All
said
right.
hammer.
Are you attacking the
Oh,
one that Devon shot?
Everyone's coming out the door.
They're all
Everyone's coming
coming
out the
out.
door at me.
They're all coming out the door at you.
In which case, the one that Devon shot makes sense.
All right.
That is a 23 to hit.
Hits.
Where's my d6? That is a 4. Flap.
All right.
And then, for healing instead, I'm going to grab the rose and say, "Shanti, grant me your gift," and cast Spiritual Weapon as a bonus action.
Very nice.
Spiritual Weapon.
You going to attack with that spiritual weapon?
Oh, if I can, I think I will.
Oh, you
It comes
can.
out and it's like a green rose that then like the flower part spins around and the thorns all come out, and at the end the roots come together to like a hammer.
Very nice. Roll to hit, please.
Oh, that's a 2.
Oh, that.
4 a 7.
Unfortunately, that just misses.
That's fair.
Are you staying where you are?
If I can move away, I will do that.
They will take attacks of opportunity at you if you try to move.
In which case, I'll stay where I am.
All right, I thought so. Brannock, you're up.
So, like the whips drop trailing like to the floor, effectively, and he goes, "More for killing every dead bastard in this place, but Medamain, maybe save the prayers for us." And then he's gonna launch into whipping these zombies from Medamain. 12 and 11 on dice plus like 6 or so.
Both hit. Are you
4
hitting
hits.
the injured one?
Starting on that one,
Okay.
I'll do the first hit on him and see what happens. That is a grand 6 damage.
Very nice. Is it slashing damage on your whip?
Yes.
Yeah, as you hit into it with the whip, it kind of thwacks across the shoulder, and the one arm is completely severed from your target.
But it's still going.
It's still going.
Okay. Follow up that with 9 damage.
All right. Do. All right. Yeah. This time the whip cuts across and goes around the throat a couple of times, and it just goes, and that particular zombie falls limp. And that is one dead. Redwin, it is now your turn.
Right. I'm gonna step back a few feet. I think he was sort of next to Bran, so he'll probably take like a 10-foot step back. And he'll pull out the what I'm calling the spooky orb of blasting that he took from the statue. And he'll just kind of thrust it out, and from it will emerge 3 scorching rays.
Very nice.
How many zombies are there?
There are 3.
Per. First one against the one that's taken some damage.
That they're all full health now.
Oh, okay. 14 to hit.
Hits.
Nice. For 9 points of damage.
Very nice.
Second attack.
Is this going to the same one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thank you for asking. 19 to hit
Hit.
for another 8 points of damage.
Very nice.
And same one. For 17 to hit.
Hits.
For 6 points of damage.
Very nice. All right, these 3 scorching rays just kind of blast into this zombie. Just the stench of burning flesh now joins the putrid smell of rotting meat. Yay! My knot is you go. That one is looking real rough, but the other 2 are uninjured.
Oh, bonus action shillelagh.
Sure.
They're all out of this door, yeah?
Yes.
The bucky's through? Yeah, okay. The one that's already injured then, will toss one of Minor's patented flammable flasks of flammitude.
Okay.
I don't think that'll hit though. That's an 11.
No, that's hits. The zombies are really slow.
I thought it's actually just under, but it's fire damage.
How much?
6.
Ah, so gross. It's like this one is now like just this. It's like practically just like flesh that's melting off the bone, but it still has like just enough muscular structure left to continue.
He's doing Indiana Jones.
Reese, it's your go.
Yes. Reese is going to. Yeah, he's not going to do that. That's waste. He's going to run forward. Sort of. I imagine he's kind of just kind of fury and fear and everything. Kind of just like, why won't this place leave us alone, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll primal savagery on the one that's been beaten the shit out of. Dirty 20.
Hits.
For 2 damage.
Describe how you kill this one.
So he just like runs up and just like goes to kind of claw its chest and just like sort of like rips up its chest and it just like falls apart in 2. And so he's gonna like panting heavily turn his gaze towards one of the others.
All right, there are 2 left, and only 2 targets or they're gonna go towards close targets because they're mindless zombies. So that's gonna be Meadowmane and Reese. They first one is going to reach out for Meadowmane and attempt to bite at him. Does a 9 hit?
I'm gonna let you take a lot of guess there, bud.
That's a no. All right, and so I'm going to assume that a 13 and a 10 also miss, and so this
Right, they
one
both
tries
miss,
to like bite down on Meadowmane, but it like catches its like teeth on like his shield, and the arms come around like trying to get at him, and they miss. The other one is going to go for Reese. Oh, does a 19 hit?
Yes.
All right, the bite comes down for 4.
Why did you turned away from the active zombie combat and then got attacked in the back? Oh, Reese.
Did I?
You
I
said you
turned towards the other one.
turned panting to the others, so I just
No,
imagined
I
you
was-
turned
I meant-
around and then
By others, I meant other zombies.
the other zombies. I thought you were doing the typical zombie
he's
movie
like,
thing.
Who's next, kind of thing.
4
Okay.
damage. And
Ow.
then 2 claws. The 9 is going to miss, but that 20 is going to hit. I'm assuming that one is going to be another 4 slashing damage. As like sharpened bone and nails kind of scrape down Reese's arm.
Somebody
And
take this boy off the front lines.
and so that is their go. We're back up to the top. Devin.
I would like one of them anyway.
You're right.
I'm going to see if a 16 hits.
16 hits.
Woohoo. 8 points damage.
All right, thank you. Meadowmane, it is now your turn again.
I'm a swing with my mace.
All right. I assume you're going for the one that's attacking you.
Yes, it's only an 8 though.
To hit? Yeah, that
Yeah.
hits. Hey, Jay, did you shoot the one attacking Meadowmane or Reese?
Reese.
Okay.
That is 6 points of damage.
All right.
Is he still up?
Yep.
In which case, my spiritual weapon is going to swing and
All right.
with a 15.
Also hits.
Oh lord, I
Nice.
forgot what that.
Whenever you hit it with the mace or hammer or whatever, you like strike it in the leg and in the thigh, and like the bone cracks and the leg falls, and so it's kind of hobbling a little bit.
That's nasty. That is a. Oh, I can't do maths in my head. 9 damage from the rose hammer.
Same one.
Yeah, same one. Let's take him out.
All right. Do, 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 do.
I might make that a rose sword in later iterations, but a rose hammer sounds cool.
All right. Bran, it is your go.
14 and a 17 on the dice.
Both
so
hit.
Going for the one on Reese.
Okay.
That is 8 and 9 damage.
Okay. Yeah, each whip goes cracka cracka, and the first one manages to sever one of the legs, and then the other one wraps around, and the head, like you're trying to like do what you did to the first one again, but and then so like the whip comes around its neck and then like pops the head clean off, but the head and body are still kind of like flailing around, like the head on the ground is all like and it's like trying to bite towards Reese. So you managed to decapitate it, but it is still alive.
Such is undead.
Such is undead. Redwin, it is your go.
Firebolt at the headless one.
All right.
Natural 20.
All right, describe it.
Right down the neck hole. It kind of like leans over a little bit. And it kind of like flies, it hits it in the neck and like blasts out at its ass. So like the like it kind of explodes like the bottom half of it.
Yeah, and like the flame like juts out of its backside and blasts its own head at the same time. So it just kind of looks like it was farting flame on its own face, and both the body and the head go still.
Flame farts, you know what I like.
Right, Maynard.
So who we got left?
There's
one
one
zombie.
Just the one?
one fighting Meadowmane.
That's the one on Middleman. Fire at it with the crossbow.
Okay,
16
hits.
or what did I lose that? That's 10 damage.
Excellent. Is that piercing?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
I believe it's also magical if that makes any difference at all.
Okay. You said 5 damage?
10.
10.
10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I wrote down the damage, not its remaining hit points. Cool.
Don't diminish my contribution.
I'm sorry. Apologies. Reese? It's your
Yeah,
go
I'm
again?
gonna jump at it
Okay.
with my magic boy claws. Does a 12 hit?
Yes.
Haha, 9 damage.
Describe how you kill the last one.
He just beats its head off. I realize how that sounds. He beats it until its head falls off.
Alright, the streets of Barovia go quiet once again.
Reese is gonna somewhat to his knees a little, goes away, just like put his hands down and just kind of like take some deep, steadying breaths, just like, muttering something like "fuck this place" under his breath.
It's his catchphrase. Right. There is the home that the zombies were sequestered in is open and available to you all if you wish to get off the streets, but equally you could continue exploring.
Redwind's gonna say, if you don't mind, looking at everybody, I think I'd like to go inside for just a moment. And he's gonna walk inside the house.
Hey, if it's 10 minutes, Meadowman's happy to actually do that prayer thing he thought about, and then he's like, "Yes, Derry."
You got the spell slots for it now?
Yep,
Cool.
I have two twos. Well, I have 1 2 now.
Right.
So
Can I, just before I go, everyone is like filing in. Can I just kind of look in some of the neighboring windows, not like up close, but just see, the closest house either side and on the other side of the road? Are they also filled with dead? And past the fact that I might have to hunt every house.
Yeah, you can go ahead and go up to one and give me a perception check.
Cool. He's trying to do this without drawing their attention, obviously, so no. Perception 14.
Yeah. The house adjacent, like we'll say, you were here, that happened here, you go down to this other one here across the way, or you go across the street, either way. But you see through like cracks in like the boarded up windows, more like listing figures.
In all of the houses, or just some of them?
Just the one that you just checked. If you'd like
Okay,
to
right.
continue
Yep.
going down.
Non-natural 20, a 13, 23. Basically just checking all of the houses around.
Yeah, the next couple of houses that you check, you can't really see much inside them at all. You maybe catch the glint of beady little rat eyes scurrying past the window. There's one that looks a few that look completely empty, and a few on the more northern edge of the street that appear to have lights and people milling about inside.
You definitely just pause. So there's just people living next to the dead here. He's just standing looking through this window at this, almost like a Christmas scene or something. They're doing food. And then he kind of shakes his head in just bewilderment, and then he'll go join the others. Is
Right.
Dev by the door, maybe? I think you're one of the healthier ones. Cool. He's just, as he walks past you, he's just gonna go, that one has the dead in it. Those I can't see, and those two there have happy families in them. What the fuck is even going on here?
It's fucking sick. It's like they don't even care.
Yeah, I need to go ask. So we should ask somebody who lives here.
Yeah, when we're all going up to it. I'll keep watch.
Once Redwind's inside, I don't have to work it this way, but for pure flavor, could we say that Redwind is able to find a rat or a small animal?
Roll me a D100.
During the 10 minutes that Meadowman is doing his prayer of healing, every time you take a step, small grains of wheat grow from, like little green spectral grains of wheat grow at your feet and then immediately disappear when you lift your foot off the ground. That's for all 6 of us. And heal 17 health.
Nice.
Very nice.
17. Nice.
That is more.
I rolled particularly well.
I just needed 6. So
I
I'm
am
good.
now only 1 hit point down.
So everybody heals 17 then?
Everybody heals 7. Well, the 6 of us heal 17, just in case. I'll do that clarity into there's someone else in here within 30. Just in case, it's the 6 of us.
Noted.
I rolled an 80.
An 80. In this particular house, you don't find any animals or anything like that. It was kind of one of those things that if there was anything living in here, you get the feeling based off of some of like the corpses that you find they were eaten.
Do any of the corpses have entrails?
No, they were eaten.
Okay.
You can try your luck in another house though.
Entrails. Instead, Redwin will just pull out a set of dice.
Okay.
And take 10 minutes to cast Augury.
Awesome. Okay. So we'll, unless there's any conversations that want to be had, the 10 minutes pass as you like watch Redwin set up his Augury ritual.
I just, after the 10 minutes of the, just put a hand on Meadowmane's shoulder, who I'm imagining is sitting down or something, so I can reach it. Thanks for the goddess's gifts.
Got to be shared by all, there, eh?
Yeah.
Healing's what I do.
What would you like to know, Redwin Grey?
Will seeking the who was the guy that got sent us the message? The Baron Count something?
Burgermeister.
Burgermeister. Yeah. Will seeking out the Burgermeister result in wheel, woe, or neutral?
You get out your dice and however you imagine that wheel and woe come. How do you imagine wheel and woe coming up in your dice? Are they like numerical pip dice, or are they special kind of augury dice that have like symbols on them?
They'd be gaming dice, given Redwin's background.
Mm-hmm.
So he would probably just like take 10 minutes to sort of like around him disappear a little bit. And then maybe just kind of like be gently rolling the dice the entire time. So there's this kind of rattle that builds, and it'll cast him on the floor as he's crouched, and just based on the numbers, he would know what the answer is.
Okay. In that case, it's one of those things where like no matter how many times like you cast the dice, you're getting like matching pairs or whatever, but it's like all ones. So you get like the sense that like, both.
Right, well, that's fate for you. Put the dice away.
Right, so you have like this small little. The door is off its hinges, and like there's no traffic in, like foot traffic that wanders by, like the door or the house to see that you all have like busted it in. So you have as much time as you want to spend in this place. It smells horrible. In fact, Redwin, why don't you give me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Yes, ma'am. Pretty good at those, but not when I roll a natural 1.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, after you perform your augury ritual, and, like, the pervasive smell kind of comes through and hits your senses again, you're reminded of sick rooms. Very familiar to you.
Yeah.
And your stomach turns, and like the wheat smell from Meadowmane's augury, kind of like that sickly, flowery growth, and the smell of death kind of makes your stomach turn and bring up unwanted memories.
Right, time to go. Thank you, Meadowmane. I think I've had quite enough of this place now. Okay. Look at the sky and look for smoke coming from chimneys.
Definitely. There's quite a few coming from what you believe to be the center of town. And let's see. There's quite a few coming directly from like the center of town. You can see like two rather large smokestacks here and here where these orange roofs.
Mm-hmm.
There's also another, like, so you see like three clustered right in the center of town, and then there's one to like the far, far south.
Anyone else here think they could use an ale and a woman? I'm heading towards that smoke.
Well, I presume that crying is still going on.
Mm-hmm.
And in the direction of that, so Bran's up for it. He didn't really. He was probably hanging around the door with Dev or something after he'd like secured the place. Right. I don't know what this place has for both of those, but I'm not sure I'm keen to find out on the.
Talking to Devin or Redwin?
To you, like about ale and women, like he's not sure what this place has to offer. But
Most of the women we've met here have been undead at best.
Well,
To be fair, yeah, okay.
fair point. I'm hoping that smoke means fire, means live, and enough smoke usually means an inn.
Did we hear Bran mention about the families he mentioned?
yeah, he wasn't hiding it. He just spoke to Devon by the door. I presume we're all in like the front room anyway. So yeah, you could have heard.
Judging by what Bran said, the smoke and the crying woman, I think there's someone out there. Somebody's not having a good time of it.
Yeah, I think that's further into town.
One problem at a time.
I'm leaving.
Okay.
Now.
So, all right. So you guys go in towards like the center of town, and as you make your way towards what is like the main square, you see a single shaft of light thrusts illumination into the main square, its brightness looking like a solid pillar in the heavy fog. Above a gaping doorway, a sign hangs precariously askew, proclaiming this to be the Blood on the Vine Tavern, which would be like the largest smokestack. Redwin almost divining the sense of divining out of thin air, a tavern. And then, yeah, and then looking towards the south, you see another building that has sparse light spilling out from behind heavy drawn corners, where there is a sign over the door creaking on its hinges that reads "Bill Dress Mercantile." And as you stand in the square, the moaning sob floats through the still gray streets, coloring your thoughts with sadness, and the sound seems to flow from a dark two-story townhouse directly towards the south of the Mercantile. So, seems to be coming from that building there.
Does it sound like someone just sad, or does it sound like someone like in pain?
It's Like the sound of just mourning.
Heartbreak.
Heartbreak, yes.
We have a better sense of where it's coming from, yeah?
Yes. To your
Madam
south.
Man,
Past.
Madam Man is going to head in that direction.
Alright.
Redwind's going into the tavern.
Huh?
Redwind's going into the tavern.
Yeah, Reese is following Redwin.
Alright.
I'm going after Meadowmane.
Split in the party.
And that they were never seen again.
Alright. Where are the rest of y'all going?
I'll follow Bran.
Mine are?
Despite my best judgment, I'll probably stick with Red One.
Are you sure that that's against your best judgment? To go away from the
By all
crying?
means, go into the mournful
I
wail.
mean, yeah, it's just a woman in a house crying. Like, the last thing she wants is like, three guys.
Help, maybe?
She's upset. She's not like in danger.
I mean, you'd hope. You don't know this place.
I was going to say, we don't know. Meadowman's logic is she could be in trouble. We should make sure she's okay. That's his
I mean,
thinking.
you're right. We don't know this place, but I'm beginning to get a feel for it.
Sure.
Danger, death, more danger, death, danger.
Crying.
Pretty much sums
The
up.
3Ds.
Yes, but usually the crying is Reese.
Exactly.
Oh, it's funny when it's not me.
Yes, as you guys approach the tavern, a closer inspection of the sign as you approach that originally read Blood of the Vine, there was an inn that had been previously scratched over with the F, so the place used to be called Blood on the Vine.
It was Blood on the Vine. Now it's what?
Blood of the Vine.
Interesting.
As you enter, this once finely appointed tavern has grown shoddy over the years. There's a blazing fire in the hearth that gives scant warmth to the few huddled souls within. First glance, you see that there is a barkeep, three colorfully dressed individuals sitting together at a table, and then another table where a young man sits with blonde hair, strong of jaw.
All right. First things first, I'm gonna just manifest Bexley in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Let him skimper down my get small just to watch my back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll sit at the bar and say, "Hello, fine establishment here."
Yes, the barkeep is a pudgy little man who's tending the bar, kind of just mindlessly cleaning glasses one after another. As you approach, he kind of puts down the glass and sets down his rag and just says, "What do you like?"
3 of your best ale, 1 for me, and 1 for each of my associates here.
Glass of wine costs 1 copper. Pitcher
I'm
of
sorry.
wine costs 1 silver.
You have ale.
Glass of wine costs 1 copper. Pitcher of wine costs 1 silver.
Pitcher of wine, then.
Pitcher of wine, he gets the pitcher out and hands you 3 glasses and holds out a hand expectantly.
Give him silver.
Right, he takes the silver, tucks it away, and then goes back to cleaning glasses.
I'll place another silver down on the table and say, "Well, this doesn't seem like the kind of town where you get a lot of new visitors, and you seem remarkably uncurious. You mind telling me a little bit about yourself and about this place?"
The man stops cleaning the glasses, looks down at the silver piece, pulls out another pitcher, fills it up with wine, sets it down, and returns cleaning the glasses.
Can I get an insight check on this guy?
Sure.
18.
Yeah, it's like a marionette. This guy has like dull monotone voice, marionette, just
Do
kind
I get
of
the sense that he's undead or inhuman in some way?
no, just strange.
Reese is going to take his glass of wine and go sit by the fire.
Look to mine are curious folk.
Right, and with that, we'll flip over to the townhouse. The house, which is about 40 feet square, is boarded up and uh, nice and tight. And you can hear the sobbing coming from behind the door.
Meadowman goes to knock, but then looks like back to see if anyone's going to try and stop him, considering the last time he went near close to a door, a lot of things came out.
You just see Bran like brandish both of the whips, ready. Basically, something undead coming through the door.
Devin will like set an arrow on her bowstring, but she won't draw it.
Meadowman draws his quarterstaff with one hand, leaving the shield on his back, and knocks on the door with it.
I should
Uh,
terrify some widow.
There is no response.
Hello? Is there anyone in there, eh? Knocks again.
Silence and no response. Sobbing within doesn't change cadence or pitch, tone, or otherwise acknowledge the knocking.
I've got some friends here. We just want to make sure you're okay there, eh? There's lots here.
She could be part of the weird stuff.
Meadowman waits to see if the sobbing changes in any way.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Well, may the great mother be with you there, eh? And he heads back to the group and just says, "Not much we can do."
After drinking a couple glasses of wine, could Metamane go over and talk to the square-jawed blonde fellow?
Sure. Is there anything else that you'd like to do over there down by the townhouse before we do that?
Yeah. You said it was boarded up tight, but is there any way I can go through, I don't know, a lock or just prying open part of a board or something?
You want to try and open it?
One of the boards on the windows, maybe. All the wood here seems rotten anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So
yeah. You can give me a strength or athletics check to see if you can
I
move
don't
the
know if I
boards.
want
he just has the sobbing like in his head, and it's driving him slightly crazy.
Yeah.
And he's not the best able to cope with that. So they just like you say that, and we just sort of stand there for a bit, and then he just goes over and he's just going to put a hand and wrench one of the boards.
I don't know if that's a good idea there, buddy.
15 plus 2, 17.
Yeah, the boarding on the windows comes away easily, and you have a point of ingress if you wish.
Can I see anything in there?
The townhouse itself, you kind of see that the most of the furniture has been like kind of pushed up against the door, barricading it shut. And you can kind of see that there's a set of stairs off in like one dark corner, and you can kind of hear like the crying coming from the upper floor.
Any signs of a fight? Are there people like why
Mm,
barricade the door?
No, there's no signs of struggle or anything of that nature. It's just kind of like everything's kind of cluttered and dirty and like it smells, but not in like the way that the other house smelled. It just kind of more smells like this is a place that doesn't get opened very often, and or it hasn't been like aired out in quite some time, and yeah, it just kind of smells sour. But yeah, there's no sign of struggle or anything like that. It's just most of the stuff has been kind of barricaded up against the door, and the sobbing comes from upstairs.
Looks like it hasn't been used in a long time, I'm guessing. Is there a back door to this house that I could see?
Not that you can see, but you could easily crawl
Either.
through the window if you wished.
He just turns back to the others. Like, well, she barricaded herself away. Like, what caused that?
Doesn't want anything of the weird stuff that we've seen out here to getting in there, eh?
Is that a sickness?
But then what
maybe?
about maybe sickness? But what about? And she hasn't made like he wrenched it. I'm sure it wasn't that quiet, but the cadence of the crying hasn't changed whatsoever. It's just like on repeat,
No.
and that ain't right.
That is strange
There's
there,
no.
eh?
He like listen. He like listens to it, and it's like there's no emotion there. Like for all the sobbing, like it's just. I imagine to him, he's. You get the sense he knows tragedy. This person's a poser.
So do you go inside?
I'm looking at the other two. They want to or not.
Bite the
I
ghost.
feel,
Bite the ghost.
I feel like it's about, but I can't leave someone could potentially be in danger alone.
We might be able to snap her out of whatever's happened to her.
The uncertainty would just get to me, and I'd hate myself if I didn't at least try and help.
All right then.
So you guys make
Right.
your way inside the house and head up the stairs towards the sound of the crying, I assume.
Meadow May is willing to take the lead, if Bran doesn't immediately head to the front like usual.
Whenever you climb the stairs, you find that like up here, all of like the windows are also boarded up and barricaded in much of a similar fashion to the ones downstairs. But there's a bedroom door that is like on like the doors that you pass by, like the doors are open and you can kind of see like beds pushed aside, dressers pushed up against a window, and everything is like strictly barricaded. It kind of looks like a mixture between like, and then there's like barrels and crates of like food and supplies and stuff, but it's like it looks like a hoarder's house, but in like a preparatory hoarder. Like it's a bunch of like sundry items and like everything has like a sense to it, but it's like this is like the home of somebody that never tried to like leave. And in the center of one of the bedrooms, you see a woman who is sitting on the floor in a bedroom that, in comparison to the rest of the house, is neat and pristine. It has like clean furniture, clean linens. The window is like completely boarded up, hammered boards everywhere, but like the rest of the room kind of looks like neat, and there's like lots of like children's toys like are spread across the room, and in the center of the room is a woman clutching a malformed doll, just sobbing and rocking back and forth.
So it's a kid's room with the toys in.
It kind of looks like that. Yes.
Hmm.
It if you want, why don't you go ahead and give me a perception check?
Okay.
All of us?
Mm-hmm.
Good. I got
14.
It's a good one.
a dirty 20.
Mm.
I got a 24. 24.
Nice. Devon and Meadowmane, you notice that while this appears to be like a children's room, you kind of like glance towards an open wardrobe and you can kind of see there's like dresses, but they're like full sized, like for an adult
Mm.
or tall teenager. But yeah, she's just sitting in the center of the room, sobbing and clutching this doll.
Devin will clear her throat. Excuse us. We thought you might be injured or sick, or otherwise need of help.
And she kind of like responds to like the soft tone in Devon's voice, kind of like looks up at her and goes, "Oh, I didn't hear you come in."
We found a way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not ready for guests.
What happened here?
Oh, my daughter Gertruda, she's missing. I tried so hard to keep her safe. I tried so hard.
Take your time. It's okay.
I made sure that I kept everything out. I kept everything out. But she left. She left the house and she won't. She didn't. She hasn't come back.
How old is your daughter?
Oh, she's um, 17 summers.
A young woman, then.
My precious baby girl.
I might know of.
Do you know where she may have gone?
Oh no, she's never been out before. I can't. Something must have happened to her. Something awful. But I can't go out. I can't go out to find her.
She's been out in 17 years, eh?
It's not safe out there. I did what I can to keep her safe. No one in the village would have known. The village. She kind of trails off, sobbing
What was her name
into
again, sorry?
Gertruda.
Gertruda.
Fran kind of like looks around and kind of like just lowly whispers, maybe to Devon, like, she does have a point.
These men are the same thing.
I mean, you could probably hear if you want, but like,
I was thinking the same thing. I don't know if he was, but I certainly was.
Yeah, it's fairly obvious that this woman kind of had a daughter and decided to board up the house. And
under normal circumstances, I would that is quite dire in of itself. But also, if there's zombies living next door, I would probably think
Yeah.
twice about leaving
Yeah.
too.
Justifiable, certainly.
So Bran kind of on his haunches, like a little closer to her. Have you got like a picture of Gertruda? we came from outside, so we're going to be going back out again. We can keep an eye out.
Oh, no, 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 no pictures. I didn't, couldn't. I'm not good at such things, but, and I wouldn't, I wouldn't let her sit for a portrait.
So she was 17 years old, and you kept her in here to keep her safe from what was outside.
Yes,
How long has this been going on?
this, what, what do you mean?
Well, whatever you're keeping her safe from, or was it just general terrors of the world?
Oh, Barovia is not a safe place. It never has been.
There are quite a few dangerous things happening here.
And she nods. It's not safe out there. It's not safe for anyone.
Has it recently gotten bad, or gotten worse?
No, oh no, it's always been like this as long as I can remember.
No one to stop this? No guards or anyone?
Cards, no, no cards. Every once in a while, colorful folk like you come through, but and she trails off again.
How long has it been since Gertruda disappeared, eh?
About a week. She snuck through the kitchen window.
No portrait, but perhaps a description?
Oh, she's very pretty. Someone must have snatched her right up, and she starts wailing. Uh,
It's okay now, hey.
it's okay now. I'm sorry.
There.
there,
It was
there.
it was a soothing. It's okay.
Yeah. Uh, you get from her that her Gertruda is so very, very, very pretty, and a wide blue eyes, brown hair. She's very, very, very pretty, and like you can kind of see like if this woman,
Sounds like vampire bait.
if this woman wasn't racked with grief and wasn't like pale and pallid from like years of malnutrition and lack of sunlight, you could see where she would have been pretty at some point, but grief and madness have kind of given her stolen what
Yeah.
that would be. Or stolen that potential, I guess.
Is there something of hers that she might recognize that we could?
Oh, well, there's this, and she holds up the malformed doll to you. It's like got limbs that are slightly longer than one another, like it doesn't quite match, and it's like wearing like this yellow sackcloth dress, and like from like the way that she like holds it up and like its head goes floppy, it looks like it's leering at you a bit. This was mine when I was a girl, and I passed it down to Gertruda. She kind of like hands it to you, and you kind of run your hands along it and like turn it over, kind of like just looking at it, and you see that there's a tag in the bottom of the dress and the hem that's kind of frayed and old, but are the words "is no fun, is no Blinsky." Looks like some sort of like, maker's mark.
Is there a? And he kind of like looks up at her. Is there Is there a toy maker here?
No, in Valaki, there's a toy maker.
Kind of like looks up to the other two.
Where's
Do you know how we get to
Agnes?
Valenti from here, eh?
Oh, you think that's might be where Gertruda went? Yes, that makes sense. No one in the village is to know what happened to Gertruda. They call me mad. They call me Mad Mary, Mad Mary. She kind of stutters a bit. If I can find my map.
Take your time there.
Do. Valaki is to the west along the old Savage Road. Somewhere. It's not nearby. It's a few days travel, she'll say. The town
Road
of
door?
Valaki. Old Svalich Road.
Okay.
You follow the road, Valaki's near Lake Zarovich.
Mm-hmm. And what is Zarovich?
It is the lake.
Right, near the lake. Got it.
The name of the lake is Lake Zarovich.
He stands up. Person who in this place makes toys, and he kind of like opens his arms up, and he's still holding the doll.
Someone would hope, I would say. Then has like a kind of soft smile on his face.
Yes, you'll find my Gertruda, my sweet gentle Gertruda.
Meadowmane gets close to her and like kneels down beside her and says in the softest possible voice he can manage, "You mind if I put my hand on your shoulder, dearie?"
Oh, okay.
He gently like puts his hand on her shoulder, and just says, as calmly as he can, "We're going to look for your daughter. If we can find her, we will send her your way. The Great Mother will guide her, and the Great Mother will guide you, eh? Now you get yourself some sleep, and soon, I hope you'll be reunited with your daughter, eh? The Great Mother will look after you."
Who's the great mother?
He sort of like cringes a little bit to himself. "She's someone very special to me, eh? She'll look out for you. I promise you."
Okay.
Good.
Is there like a broken in this trash heap of a house? Basically, is there like a broken piece of wood in all those barricades or something? Like a bit of furniture smashed?
Oh, most definitely.
Well, he's just talking about the Great Mother. I'm just gonna like pick up a piece. I know it's not in this room, so we might have to duck out. And then I'm just gonna like quickly whittle like a rose out of wood, like the Shanti symbol, and then come back in. And I'll pass it to Meadowmane, who's maybe still crouched down.
He's understanding where it's going and hands her the rose. "This is a symbol of my Great Mother, eh? Keep this with you, and she'll have her eyes on you, eh?"
Will this protect me from the devil Strahd?
Sure.
"How big is it? Is it steak?" Oh no, I was gonna say, is it steak size?
No.
Bran just.
I hope it will. You got some rest there, eh?
Oh, okay. The great mother. That's not Mother Night, is it? She says, kind of fearfully.
No. Her name is Shanti.
She kind of nods.
My name is Meadowmane. I'm a cleric of Shanti, the Great Mother. I know her better than anyone. He ruffles his hand through his green hair. She gave me this born. That tells me that she's always looking out for me. And I've told her to look after you.
Thank you, Meadowmane. And she kind of sags a little bit with like exhaustion, and I think I should get some sleep.
I think that's a wonderful idea, Mary, eh?
And she'll kind of get up and shuffle over to the bed in this room and kind of curl up on her side and just kind of do close her eyes.
Let's have a quick look
Just
downstairs at the kitchen window.
What?
just before she falls asleep, can Bran just ask one more question? Who's this mother?
The mother night and the morning lord are the gods here.
Are they both good? Has he ever heard of the Night Mother? Or I'm sure he's heard of the Morning Lord, presumably in his paladin exploits. But
Make some religion checks.
okay,
Intelligence for Meadowmane if you would also like to.
I'll give it a shot. Nope, that's a big ol' 0.
I got 18 minus 2 for 16.
Like you've heard, like sometimes that Palor has been like referred to as the Morning Lord, but like you haven't heard of any god or goddess that's called the Mother Night. So she just kind of responds with the the morning Lord watched over Barovian people from sunrise till sundown. But the sun doesn't shine here anymore. It doesn't shine anymore. Mother Night, she must be punishing us to let them. The devil Strahd was sent here to punish us by the Mother Night. She kind of says exhaustedly.
She's probably like a bit falling asleep. I guess. I guess she's not good then.
Doesn't sound good to me, eh?
And there's a little more that you can get from Mad Mary as she succumbs to exhaustion.
That's good. We leave the way we came in, and then Bren will like try put the board back in place.
Sorry, Meadowmane wants to take a quick look at the kitchen where apparently she got out, where Gertruda got out.
You guys aren't gonna rob the place, right?
Just to see if that's like if she actually got out or if she's just passed away and she's deluded herself or something.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Meadowmane doesn't see shit. That is a 1.
It
Two
looks
minus one for one.
it looks like a window that got boarded up.
Minimum size and follows the others out the way they came in.
All right, so we'll over to the others.
So I'd like to grab 2 glasses and and sort of mutter a druidic incantation and give myself guidance.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna walk over to Square Jaw Blondie Face.
Square jaw. Make blondie face.
Yeah. And I'm gonna kind of like wiggle the glasses and hold the picture and say, "Pardon me, friend, but I am just desperate for sane conversation with an actual human being." That's someone. And roll persuasion if you'll let me.
Sure. Go for it.
I think Mina might take offence to the you want conversation with an actual human being.
Persuasion is going to be a 17.
And I'm sorry, what did you say?
Oh, I just want to sit down and talk with them.
Oh, yeah, like, with the, you kind of see him, as you sit down with, like, the wine, and he was just all, and you, like, say that you want to have a conversation with him. He was like, well, I was, about to invite you over myself.
Well, good fortune for us. Down and put a glass out for him.
Mm-hmm.
Your name, sir?
My name is Mark.
And does Mark seem like a sane guy?
Yeah, he's like not as dour as you might expect someone to be, but he definitely has like kind of cheered up a bit now that you all have, like, new people have come in. Just a quick question, real quick. Reese,
Yes.
does Reese have pointed ears?
Reese does not have pointed ears now.
Okay, just checking. Some HMR do, so I thought I'd double check there.
His ears are hidden behind a lot of hair as well. So.
Okay. So yeah, he just kind of spreads out, thick like hands, because he's a big man, and not in like a fat sense, just he's imposing and large, yeah. And he just kind of spreads his hands out, an invitation for you all to join him at his table.
Yeah, I'll kind of look over and beckon Minar and Reese if they want to join.
Reese will let out a sigh and come over.
No, he wants a conversation.
Pardon me?
Listen, now you want our conversation.
These are my traveling associates, Minar and Reese. How long have you lived in Barovia?
All my life.
It's a strange place.
It,
If you don't mind my saying so, and meaning no offense, of course. Home is home.
it has its ups and downs, sure. Mostly downs.
What would you describe the ups as? I'm quite curious.
Well, if we didn't live here, we wouldn't be living anywhere.
I suppose anything's better than death, right?
It's one way to look at it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. And he kind of leans in a little bit conspiratorially.
Lean into match.
You're adventurers, right?
Well, some of our number might count themselves as such. Reese is quite the dudes, along with some of our other associates who have gone off to investigate a mysterious whaling. And Minar and I are rather new to the trade, but taking to it like a fish does water, I think. Right? Look to Minar.
Focus on his wine.
Why do you ask?
Well, it's is a bit obvious from the fact that you're asking about this place. If you're from Barovia, you tend to know about Barovia.
You get a lot of adventuring types coming through then.
Now and again. Most of them don't last long.
It's a dangerous place. You seem to a far greater degree than other places I've seen.
I've might be a bit more privileged than others.
A privilege that is. So tell me, where can I find the Burgermeister? Was it his invitation that we came?
His eyebrows kind of shoot up at that, and he kind of leans back and squints his eyes at you suspiciously. Is that right?
Yeah. Not sure what's right. Whole place here seems a bit topsy-turvy, but that's what the letter said.
Letter.
Aye.
Let's see this letter, he says, and you kind of see like his demeanor is kind of like shifted and shuddered a bit.
Natural 20 and an insight check, so a 26.
He thinks you're lying to him.
Okay. Do I have the letter?
No.
Well, don't mind waiting a few. I think one of my other associates might have it on them. They should be along shortly.
Kind of crosses his arms and is all like, alright then.
Was there a reason you seem a bit suspicious?
Burgermeister's my father. And I know he hadn't been writing no letters, 'cause he's dead.
Well, that does confirm for us a bit. We had a suspicion that the letter we got.
You show me this letter, I can confirm that for you. But we have to wait for your companions.
Aye.
Well, enjoy your wine. Can I get a perception check from the three of you?
Can I roll for Bexley as well?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good roll.
3 and a 13.
25.
17.
What were yours and Bex's again, Red One?
An 18 and 12, I think I said.
Whoever had the 18, and everyone but the person who rolled a 12, whoever that might have been, you kind of notice that the colorfully dressed women in the corner are kind of openly staring at you all.
Do they seem like, working girls?
No. They're not
Or
dressed.
like-
They're not dressed provocatively. By what I mean, colorful. I mean, like in comparison to Ismark in front of you, who's dressed in browns and grays and what have you. These individuals are dressed in colorful reds and purples and blues and silks and have kind of like olive toned skin as opposed to this pale pallor that Ismark seems to bear.
Who are the ladies in the corner? I say to Mark.
Ismark.
Ismark, sorry.
Yeah. Look, them's the owners. It's Alenka, Mariabil, Sovia. Hey, ladies! And he kind of like nods and like lifts a flagon of wine. And they kind of roll their eyes at Ismark.
I'll sort of raise the glass and say, a fine vintage. Have our thanks.
At that, there's a bit like one of them kind of gives you like kind of a warm look and a smile.
She cute?
Yeah.
Reese will turn to his mark and say, "What's their problem?"
Oh, you newcomers.
And
Like to get the measure of newcomers to Barovia.
Well, they're free to take it.
And the girls kind of, or women, I should say, not girls. The women kind of turn back to having like their own conversation, kind of tittering a bit in like their private conversation.
So, if it's not too rude to ask, may I inquire how your father passed away?
You can. I'm afraid he passed away from.
Bloody flap.
So,
Okay.
he had the death. Terrible kid.
You got allergy.
You see, what had happened was
Wasn't me.
if you,
What?
sorry, if you don't mind, I think I might wait to see the letter, and then I'll tell you everything.
All right, fair enough. While we wait for our friends, you play cards.
Been a while and a bit since the last time, but yeah.
What do you say to a friendly game? I'll kind of gesture to Redwin and sorry, I'm Redwin, Reese and Minehart on my sides, and see if they want to play.
Reese will get up and go back to the fire.
Sport. I'm gonna look over to the pretty winker and say, "And you, my fair lady, would you care to play?" And
That's definitely a word that you use.
What did he say?
I'm sure that
Pretty
wasn't the only one.
winker. That's definitely. I mean, I'm not saying I'm gonna call my dick the pretty winker from now on, but it's definitely on the card.
Oh my. Oh my.
It's no longer a family friendly show, folks.
I nearly died.
he wants to take the measure of my pretty winker.
Okay. How about you roll a persuasion check in regards?
Disadvantage for the term pretty winker.
Oh gosh, that's a 22.
Yeah, she'll kind of chortle to herself, and did you say cards?
Aye, cards if you like. We also got dice.
I'd like to see how an outsider does with cards. And she says as she gets up to join you all.
If you've a game to show me, I'd love to learn.
Oh, we'll see how you handle them by yourself before we worry about that.
All right. And yeah, play a game of cards. And Redwin will do his best to be, gratuitously charming.
Yeah. Your new friend introduces herself as Sorvia.
Sovia.
Sorvia.
Gotcha. Pretty innkeep.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, fuck.
Oh my god.
Oh, there
What
was
about
some
this?
sort of weird feedback there that was extremely loud. I'm sorry.
Was it on my end?
I don't.
I don't know.
I didn't.
You're
I
okay
didn't
for
get
me.
anything.
Oh, Jesus. It's okay.
The machines.
The machines are rising against us.
It's
Oh,
kinda-
All right, so you guys play some cards. I believe. Would it be? I forgot the game that I came up with.
Oh, I don't know.
It's like roll 3 dice or something and try get
Oh,
pairs
okay.
or
Okay.
highest.
Pairs and or like sequential or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Was it 3 or more? But I feel like it was something.
I think it
like
was. Should I put them in the chat or?
Sure. Minar, if you're playing, if you'll roll 3d6 as well.
I'll do it. We wrestle with a cat for a second.
Try and win by submission.
Are you rolling for the blonde guy and the
Oh yeah.
Sophia? I was
Thanks.
going to
That one was Sophia's. Ismark got a big fat nothing.
say. That's everything.
Yeah. So, your Vistani, Innkeep will win that round.
Well done.
What was that?
Well done, my dear. You seem to have the blessings of fate on your side tonight. I wonder what other ways it will favor you.
She kind of chuckles. It's like, if you think that the way I do cards is interesting, you should go visit Madame Ava.
Madam Ava. She might be a soothsayer, I suppose.
Of a type, yes. She stays with the Vestani out by the Tsar Pool. It is not far from here.
We will be sure to call on her. What was her name again?
Madame Ava. EVA. I'll say like around, after like another round or so, the rest of your fellows come back, and there is open staring at at Meadowmane as he comes in. Like, you kind of get like the wide eyes a bit.
Do I get like immediate racist vibes from these people?
Not so much racist as it is, oh, he ain't from here.
Right. These are my associates. The tall fellow is Meadowmane, and the looking fellow with the whips is Bran, and the dangerous-looking woman is Devon. Come, friends. Sit and drink.
Well, hey there, eh?
Making new friends, I see.
I should probably call it in the next 5 minutes, by the way.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You know that there's a very misshapen doll featuring prominently. But
And you brought back more terrible things, I see.
I mean, I'm not going to cast magic out of this one. And he like gives you a look.
Well, what good is it then?
Yeah. Whenever Meadowmane comes to join and sit at the table, Sophia will get up and join the other women at the table, and they're just kind of like whispering to themselves, like they're reacting the way that someone in real life might respond to an actual elf or dwarf or an actual furbog walking into their place. Like, what the shit is that?
Right. Something out of myth and story just showed up.
Not even, they might not even have a myth for something like a furbog.
Maybe if it was like an elf or a dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something truly alien.
Mm-hmm.
Friend's going to sit down next to Redwin and to answer him, what good is it then? He's going to go, might save a life.
Yeah, well, that's some good, I suppose.
We managed to stop the crying that was coming down the lane there, eh?
Does that mean you killed the ghost, or?
Woman needing the help.
Ismark will kind of butt in there and be like, "You spoke to Mad Mary."
Mm-hmm.
We
She's
did.
just a traumatized woman. It's nothing that we can't handle, eh?
Going on about her daughter, was it? The daughter she don't have?
That's what she told us, eh?
I wish mad women could say whatever she likes, but don't make it true.
Who might you
I
be?
think she's mad.
Don't call her Mad Mary for nothing.
Well,
Whoa.
sometimes labels are earned and sometimes they ain't.
He kind of shrugs. Don't mean no offense, but She says,
Oh.
came out
So
crying.
it turns out people are actually waiting to talk to us. So
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize. I'm sorry.
No, that's
Feel
fine.
free to continue the scene without me, but
All right. Ooh, he almost got in trouble. um, but yeah, Ismark will kind of throws like, don't mean no offense or nothing, but
And who exactly are you?
well, me, Ismark the Lesser.
And you know something
Where's his
about
mark the
where?
Greater?
Dead.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm really sorry to hear that.
So you might know where this daughter is.
You mean the daughter that don't exist?
The daughter that she kept up hidden for 17 years, eh? So she says.
Kind of looks at you like disbelief. Oh, she says. All we know is that Mad Mary always came out, got her supplies, as it were. Never
Uh-huh.
came out for nothing. As far as I know, there was never a man about.
And you've been here all 17 years.
Well, I've been here all my life. I will admit that, you know, I was a younger man. Like, he's like in his mid-20s.
Okay.
So he would have been. Never mind. I'm doing bad maths.
Yeah. For reference, Mad Mary would probably be like in her early 40s, late 30s. So he would have known of Mary his entire life.
But he would have been too young, maybe, to know if there was a man before Gertruda was born. Theoretically speaking.
Theoretically speaking, yes. But you get like the sense that he's like speaking like rumor or town rumor as though fact.
But you never did. You ever speak to Did you ever speak to Mary yourself, there, eh?
When she came out wailing about her missing daughter. But
Is that the first time you'd spoken to her, eh?
not the first time, no. Anyways, we're getting a bit off topic. Your friend Redwin here says that my father might have sent you here. Got some bad news for you.
Your father, Strahd.
Oh, no.
Not that bad.
Perhaps I've got some good news for you then.
Well, I mean, okay. Gotta phrase those things a little differently.
Well,
There was that
Red-
second letter, though, eh?
No,
Your friend Redwin said the Burgermeister sent you, and I know the Burgermeister, my father, did no such thing.
because he's dead.
Aye. You catch on quick.
Man, you
Why
put that
don't you
letter on the body there, eh? That was from the Burgermeister, would it?
They both were, weren't they?
No. This one, and he'll pull out the one from the body that they found in Barovia.
Yeah.
Sounds like it was from your dad. And this
Oh.
one, he puts out the other one. Seems like it's from the Dark Lord Strahd, and he like says it like he doesn't really put much. Yeah, right now.
But they're both addressed as being from the Burgermeister, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one, definitely my father's. He points to the one that you found on the body. This one.
Mhm.
I reckon you're right about coming from the Devil Strahd. He says, kind of like in a low tone, as though he's like, trying not to be heard by the women in the corner. 'Cause- 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 'cause-
All
Right.
right.
Well,
It is fantastic, isn't it?
How long's your, if you don't mind me asking there, how long's your father been dead?
About 3 days past. Haven't been
There you
able
go.
to. Anyways, he kind of says,
It's okay. The loss of a loved one is very hard on you. I totally understand.
"Alright, well, you all are adventurers, right?"
Right.
I'm just looking to do some good, he says with a smile. It's dopey.
I need your help protecting my sister.
That's the one from the letter there, eh?
Oi.
The Burgermeister said that his daughter had been afflicted, yeah?
The Burgomeister, inverted commas, said that the love of his life was in grave danger.
But the Burgermeister, not inverted commas, said his daughter was afflicted with vampirism? Is that right? Is that accurate?
His adopted daughter
There you go.
has been bitten by a vampire.
his monk just asked for us to protect it. This is the.
Mm-hmm. What was that?
This the one who's sick.
I don't know about sick, but she's certainly been afflicted.
Bye.
Well, Strahd is a bit obsessed with her. I need to get her out of here.
So she's caught the eye of some suitor. There's apparently a plague on this land.
One could say that.
Not our usual fare.
What, pray tell, is your usual fare?
Helping people's what I tend to do.
Well, my sister needs help. The Devil Strahd is bound and determined to make my sister his bride.
We hunt monsters.
Oh, good. Strahd definitely qualifies. But, and he gives another glance over at the woman in the corner. Perhaps we could continue our conversation somewhere more private. I can take you to my father's home. Suppose it's my home now.
We hunt monsters
That's
for
that. By
coin.
order of succession, you'd be the Burgermeister now, right?
My order of succession, yeah.
Benjamin just nods, happy with himself that he knew how the order of succession worked.
What are you saying there, Jade?
Said we hunt monsters for coin.
Well, you can be greedy if you like, but there's no going back to wherever you came from unless you killed the Devil Strahd.
It's not greedy, it's practical. How else do you put food on the table?
I ain't got much cause for money here in Barovia.
I'll be right back.
Reese will kind of lean forward and say, "What do you mean we can't go back?"
The mists that surround this land, there's no getting through them unless the devil lets you through them. Devil brought you here. He's not gonna let you go easy.
Do you have any idea why he might have brought us here, eh?
Just something he does. Brings in fresh blood, as it were.
Beast
And
looks.
I'll give you a word of warning that you should pass on to your friend with the cards. Don't trust a Vistana. The Vistani serve the Devil Strahd.
To the women, who I'm assuming he's looking at when he says this.
Yeah, he's
I
like
just
got
kinda-
like his voice like super low, so that they can't hear.
I'm gonna take a look and sort of size them up.
Sure. Roll insight.
That works for me, because that's a good one. Oh, that's a 23.
All right. Like the three women in the corner don't seem to have like much interest in you all at the moment, though every once in a while Sorovia kind of like looks over and glances at Redwin, whom I'm assuming is no longer part of the conversation because he's making eyes at her.
Sure.
But
They don't seem so bad there.
oh, that's because you've paid for some wine. I said there ain't much use for coin in Barovia. But anyways, just steer clear.
You wanted to speak somewhere more private about your sister there.
Oi, there are ears that you all probably don't want to be hearing or listening. And he kind of gives like another surreptitious glance towards the Vistani in the corner.
Right, well, let's go then. And he's going to grab like Redwin by the back of the
Yeah.
collar,
Yeah!
just pull him away and leave.
Metaman waves at the Vistani and says, "Thank you for the wine there, eh?"
Kind of look at you, kind of like it speaks, and slowly kind of raise a goblet, all like out of habit or whatever, but just kind of giving like Meadowmane like this incredulous look.
He has a big smile on his face as he heads out the door.
Sure. And that is where we will leave it off, I think.
Makes sense to me.